Okay, ladies and gents. 1 second. All right, I'm ready to go now. It is, I don't know what day it is. I think it's Wednesday. I think it's Wind Down Wednesday. This week is a little moving by a little quick. Man, the new year just started and I feel like it's already flying by. Is this how it's going to be forever, where time just flies by until we reach the end of time? I hope not, right? I think I just want to sit back and enjoy the beauty of life, man. It's I was sitting down the other day and I was thinking, man, am I grateful to be alive? And man, am I grateful that this thing that we're experiencing is it's a very beautiful phenomenon. It's a very beautiful phenomenon, and you're not grateful enough. At least that I was watching. I was on TikTok. You know, the youth is on TikTok, and there's something I watched that reminded me to be more grateful for the air, for joy, for for everything, the little details, the little things that we take for granted, that we take advantage of. Um, I'm stopping you today to say, give more gratitude. Give more gratitude for the beauty of what we call life. And yeah, there's challenges, and yeah, there's obstacles, and yeah, there's hard times and hardships. But at the same time, there's a lot of beautiful things that come out of this life as well. But enough of that. Let's kind of get right into the meat of things, starting off with Indonesia announces plans to launch a national crypto exchange. I'm not surprised, but that is pretty freaking big news, right? That we're talking about uh, a entire population, national crypto exchange. And we're going to see a lot more of that in a lot more countries, right? There was a massive hack yesterday, including a hooded punk, a couple me bits, some apes, and something like 600 ETH assets gone in a flash. That's a wake up call. It never happens to you until it happens to you. Nobody thinks it's gonna have. That guy didn't think he was gonna get hacked or scammed or phished. He didn't think that. He was just chilling until it happened to him. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I advise. Put your most valuable assets in a ledger, or whatever the other ones are. I use Ledger. If you don't want to put your most valuable assets in a ledger, put them in a wallet that you never interact with. You don't connect to the internet. You're not using. You're just kind of just storing it there. That's only if only you don't want to connect it to a ledger for whatever weird reason, or you feel like it's too much work. It's not too much work until you lose 600 ETH worth of assets. So you got to understand, you need to have your DGen wallet that, hey, this is the wallet I'm interacting on a day-to-day basis. There's probably not much value in this wallet. This is the wallet I'm using to mint things. This is the wallet I'm telling the public. For me, that is 5159.eth, right? It's hey, there's some value in that wallet, but the majority of my assets are not going to be in that wallet. Neither nor am I dumb enough to keep them in that wallet, the wallet that I'm using to click links and mint things and send to people, so forth and so on, because I don't want to be a big bullseye target. So you have to have other wallets that you don't interact with, that you don't mint things with, that you don't click on links with, that you don't connect to the internet. It's just, this is the game of Web3, and you have to understand how to play it. And this conversation and this topic never gets old. And I know somebody in this room is like, why are we talking about this right now? Because a dude just lost 600 ETH being sloppy. He lost 600 ETH being sloppy. And that's why I'm talking about it today, because I don't want that to happen to anybody in this room. I've been in this space for what? I don't know how long it's been now. And we hear this same exact story every couple of weeks. Oh, this dude just lost his ape. This dude just lost his punks. This dude just lost his 3 digits. This dude just got hacked for all this amount of ETH. Why do we keep hearing the same thing over and over and over and over again? I'm going to tell you why. Because nobody thinks it's going to happen to them until it happens to them. So that's my rant about that. I'll keep it moving right along. Ethereum name service set a lifetime record in 2022 with 2.8 million domain registrations. I think we deserve a round of applause for that. You know, it's so funny to me how it took 5 years to get to 1 million, and then it takes a couple of months to get to 2.8 million. And that is the network effect, ladies and gentlemen. We were very close to hitting 3 million in 2022, but things slowed down. We talked about hitting 3 million by Halloween. That never happened. We're still not at 3 million, but let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it confused. It's just a process of accumulation, a process of growth, a process of learning, and a cycle of building. Because the next parabolic ENS run, whatever that is, whenever that is, could be tomorrow, could be in 6 months. Nobody's seen the last one coming. I'll tell you that much. The one that happened in April with the digits, nobody's seen it coming, but it happened. So I'm very excited to see what ENS does this year. I'm more excited about, not more so for names registered, although I do think that number might hit 5 million by the end of this year. If we do things right, if we continue to build the dApps that we say we're going to build and onboard people into this thing, we could probably be anywhere between 5 and 10 million. But that number is not what I care about. That to me is just a vanity metric. It's a vanity number, meaning that, you know what a vanity metric is? It just looks good, but there's no real utility behind it. What I care about is the amount of unique wallets that are growing every single day in this ecosystem. That's the number we need to focus on. That's the number that I want to see north of 1 million. Because once you get to 1 million, 2 million is right around the corner. And right now we're at about 600,000 or so. And I really do think if we all do our jobs, if we all play a part in this ecosystem, if we all assist in onboarding and doing what we can, I do think that we very well can see over 1 million unique ENS wallets. And the day that happens, we're going to have a huge celebration. And last but not least, for me, I think that was about it for me, all I had for the day. I'll go ahead and pass it over to our co-host, RN1, the man, the myth, the legend. Ron, the stage is yours, brother.
Hey, thanks. Thank you, Kev. Yeah, I saw a whole bunch last night. I have a bad habit of waking up like every hour in the middle of the night and checking Twitter. But I saw a lot of different countries, like a lot of different countries announcing this or that, new regulations, more definitions, all which moves the ball down the field. Moves the ball down the field. Um, and so yeah, it's exciting, right? And in a bull market, every one of those would be pumping everything. But in a bear market, it just falls on deaf ears, and that's okay, because that gives us more opportunity to grind, more opportunity to build, more opportunity to educate, more opportunity to rethink our moves, more opportunity to make more money, more opportunity to sell stuff out of our garage or whatever it is we're doing. Get a second job, whatever we're doing to get through this bear market, get ourselves positioned in front of the tidal wave. I know I've mentioned this before, but on our early when we were out talking about the early internet, we had two slides. One of them said that one day, I can't remember who said it, but somebody predicted $1 billion would transact over the internet, which happens like every minute right now. But back then it was like unbelievable, right? And the other one was Bill Gates that said, the internet's like, or the World Wide Web or internet, whatever he called it, is like a giant tidal wave coming across the Pacific, and we're in kayaks. In other words, we weren't ready for what was coming. Microsoft back then wasn't ready for what was coming. And that's the same. This wave's coming. We got to, we're sitting on our boards. If anyone's ever surfed, I was raised in Huntington Beach, and we'd sometimes sit out there just waiting for the waves to come in. You see the surfers out there just sitting up on their boards, waiting for that big waves to start rolling in. And they usually come in sets, and that's what we're waiting for. So whatever you have to do, do it. But the other thought I had today is just kind of a shout out to obviously Kev and what he's done here, going on 9 months, I think, every day, Monday through Friday. I think we've only missed, like, you could probably count on one hand all the day we've missed, including for holidays and everything. So shout out to that commitment, because all the pressure, make no mistake about it, all the pressure's on the host, right? It's not on the speakers, it's not on the co-host, it's all on the host. The host has to, you know, redirect their whole lives, and kind of us as co-hosts, and those as the speakers that are here too. A lot of us have reset our whole lives to do these shows. And NFT verse for doing the Friday night happy hour. Him and Flossin tonight at 8:30 p.m. have the emoji show, right? Love that. I think that's an underappreciated part of ENS that's still yet to go crazy. And it's something that we never had in .com. Something very interesting, Obviously there we see John Cito with I don't know if they were saying it was their 100th episode today. I saw something. I don't get in that show anymore because I'm hosting a kind of another show about ENS and ENS Maxis. But I used to, and I only understand about 2% of what they say. But jump onto that show. That is a strong, maybe the strongest international community, right? That ENS Latino, man. They do a great job. They're consistent. They kick butt down there. They're making stuff happen. They're there every morning. I think Monday through Friday as well. So definitely tap in with that. I mean, we've got other shows. We've got shows going all the time in foreign languages. We've got Romanian, Indian, French. We've got I always see, when I wake up in the middle of the night, I always see ENS Nigeria going, right? So just shout out to everyone who, to quote Punk's doing the damn thing, that's what it takes. And that we're not talking, look, just we've had days when it's just um, pure FOMO and excitement and just can't believe it. We've had a few of those days. We've had days that are just flat out depressing and everything in between, right? And we're in a more depressing time right now. You know, we've had days when there's been 500, 700 people on these spaces, right? By the way, retweet out the room, let people know about it today. But yeah, the thing is, we're here. We're here. We're not going away. We're going to make it happen. And those are the people that are building and position and grind. And that's who's going to benefit. And everyone will say, oh, you were lucky or whatever, right? And you'll laugh. And you'll know it wasn't luck. It was dedication. It was vision. It was being here. But I just want to shout out everyone else that's doing shows, everyone else that's mastering his red letter project, ZCC group with what him and Kev are working. All the people on their team are doing to. They're not waiting. They're not waiting around. They're making it happen. They're doing it, and that's what you have to do. You have to, you have to. You wake up, and it may be. Who knows? You may be excited. You may be. Maybe all you can do is just stand under the shower and drink a cup of coffee and stand under the shower and try and make something happen. Sometimes we're running, sometimes we're crawling, but as long as we move forward, we move that ball down the field, we're making it happen, and that's it. Me, I know a lot of us that are here, we get more committed. We grit our teeth and dig in our heels more when things are bad, right? Um, some people just turn tail and give up and leave. I mean, yesterday I saw, and damn it, someone told me about it, and I was going to go buy it. And I had the ETH. I didn't. I got on some other real life business stuff and missed it. But it was like 9559 or something like that. It went on. It was on someone let that paper handed it, let it expire, and it went for like four, five, I don't know, like $5,000. It was $2,000 below the palindrome 4 digit. So hats off to whoever grabbed that. And someone told me about it on right after this show, and I just got busy, and that's fine. But hats off to whoever got that. Somebody just paper handed a grail that they could have at least got 4 ETH out of, or more, right? So 2,000. So it wound up selling on premium for 2,000 less than the floor on those 4 digit palindromes. So hats off to whoever got that. There's opportunity out there. Let's get it done. He was in my space earlier. I don't see him here because I know he's doing some in real life stuff, but yeah, let's do the damn thing, as Punks always says, and let's rock and roll. Looking forward to what everyone's doing. Looking forward to the discussion today. Let's do it. And then I'm with you, Kev. It feels weird. I hate holidays coming on a Sunday because Monday was screwed up. Yesterday was screwed up. I got a lot done yesterday, but I felt like I was dragging for about the first 6 hours. I don't know. I felt like I had a hangover and might have just been fallout from the holiday weekend. I don't know, but yeah, it feels weird, but who cares? Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Let's do the damn thing. Appreciate you, Ron. Appreciate you staying consistent. Love the new space you guys have going on over there at the ENS Maxis. And yeah, man, anybody who hosts a space knows it's an interesting experience. It's an interesting experience in a lot of different ways because, man, for me at this point of where I am and how much spaces I've been hosting over and over and over and over again, I kind of have a good flow of things on. And I know good spaces, I know bad spaces, and every space is not a great space. But it all the pressure is on you, right? It's a lot at sometimes, but other times it's fun. You have good days and you have bad days. You have days that you want to host, and you have days that you don't want to even talk to anybody. But I think when you lose motivation, this goes for anything in life, and this is my new motto, and it's been my motto and I'm bringing this into the new year. But when you lose motivation, you fall back on discipline, and that's it. The only thing separating you right now from where you want to be is simply discipline. So motivation is only there temporary. When you get this amazing idea, you're extremely motivated. The start of the new year, I want to go to the gym. You go for a couple of days when you have all the motivation in the world, but what happens when it's been 21 days and you're not seeing any results? You begin to lose motivation, right? So there's I could name 1,000 different scenarios about losing motivation, and when you lose that motivation, because you're going to lose the motivation, you fall back on our good friend discipline. But let's go over to our co-host, Master, the legend, the veteran. Master, the stage is yours, brother. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I think, yeah, good morning to everyone. Kev, Ron, Verse, Mafiko, 00, Triple Water Gun, ETH Galaxy. Yesterday, I see at the beginning, Verse raised his hand because I think he was fishing, and eventually when his turn was due, and maybe he has been busy doing something else. And yeah, really nice to meet you guys here. And I think we've been talking to one thing on every single day, which is amazing, right? We are talking about ENS, we are talking about Web3, we are talking about how crypto can change the world. We are kind of keep convincing each other that we are on the winning team, we are doing the right thing. But every day we are kind of still having new members, we are sharing this new thoughts. But overall, the spirit, I think overall is still the same, which is good. Last year ENS has already they done something miracle. We call it miracle because it's like within the 5 years, it only have a very limited registration, but within the 1 year it has more than 2 million. And you can see that is the speed of the crypto world. Everything is beyond imagination. And right now, when we have been used to log in with our email, a username, a password, or email account, or you log in with your Google credential. And moving forward, when we are logging in with our crypto wallet address like MetaMask, then things are getting slightly changed. You guys know that I'm running a project Red Letter, which is very easy to use. You just need to log in with your MetaMask wallet, and you can send greeting cards to others. And yeah, I think it's basic function. Because we wanted to launch it before Christmas, and right now we are kind of redesigning some other templates. We want to change that Christmas card, maybe because the Christmas has just passed, we want to change it to maybe birthday's greeting, something. And the thing is that right now for us, we found from the product perspective, we found out is that it's quite difficult for a user to catch up all the ID information from other people. For example, if I want to send a birthday card to Kev, first of all I need to know his birthday, and then I need to know his crypto address. Maybe I know his ENS address, which is great. But to someone that if I don't have his either ENS address or that hash 42 length hash, then I cannot send anything to him. And then when I created that thing, I need to use social media. Like I either need his email address or I need his Twitter handle. I need to know which where he is. How I can locate him from Twitter, so that connects everything. So I need to know his birthday. I need to know his wallet address. I need to know his Twitter handle. Also, lots of these functions, lots of these social media information are included within the ENS basic setup. While maybe 95% of the users are not there, they have not inputted it so detailed yet. But I believe sooner or later this will be a trend because we are still early. That's my main point at this moment. Maybe we found out that it's quite tough to complete the full puzzle at this stage, but definitely I think we are on the right track. And the majority of people here, more or less, we have one or more or a lot of the ENS names. I mean, we know what our names means. We know what these can bring us, all these can be exchanged in the future. Whether or not it's just a vision, it's just like a slogan or a halo that leading us for fighting, for some of the projects or working in the community or doing some communication and spreading this cool new thing. Because just like iPhone 1 and 2, it comes out, majority of people are not aware yet, but there are still a group of people that getting crazy on these new style of the mobile phones. They kind of very vividly show these to their friends, to their relatives. And yeah, being one of these guys are still was still very cool to me. So yes, there are lots of purpose and intentions from people for doing this, which is all I think it's all amazing for the coming changes of ENS. And lots of people when they run into the domain trading, I say trading because some people they really need the liquidity from time to time. They have to sell their names for some money, if they are running short, or they think it is risky or what. So I think strategy is very important for everyone. If the strategy will be dependent on how long can you live with that this money, you that you this money cannot come back. For example, if it's tennis, you buy a name, and if you need this name to come back at least within the next 12 months, and if it's confirmed sure, then yeah, I think it's kind of tough to doing that, but because there's no guaranteed money, within 12 months, there is nothing confirmed. If you buy a stock, you cannot guarantee within the next year it will go to some level of the height. But if we zoom out and give it a little bit longer, duration, for example, 3 to 5 years, maybe the opportunity will be, the winning percentage will be much higher. So and of course, if you have a 3 to 5 years of the roadmap on the domain, then you also need to include all the renewal expense for this domain. For example, if you are investing in a character names, and each year it will cost you $640, 5 years, something $3,000. You need to put that into a cost as well. So overall, we need to set up a vision. How long can we live? We can let that money disappear, and then the longer the better. If you can set up within the 20 years, next 20 years, you don't need that money. You just want to max your profit. I think that would be a very bold, or just very aggressive target to set, because you can set up at a very very high price, and there is a chance for the next 20 years for one buyer to show up if if that name is really good enough. But if you only need the next 3 to 6 months, you need that money to come back, then unfortunately, I'm telling you, this is not like a traditional domain investing. This is just like buying coins, because what only you can invest in is some names with the floor, with like 3 digits and 4 digits, all those collections with the with a proper liquidity pool, and and there is no guarantee for making money for those. It's no difference than buying a simple coin, and it's still different than buy coin, because every coin is same, but every domain is kind of different. So it is kind of tricky, especially for ENS. I mean, next year, no, this year, 2023, when April is approaching, lots of the 3 and 4 digits will kind of get expired. So the owner will face a choice whether to sell these 3 and 4 digits to the floor, or they pay another 640 each domain to renew it. This is the choice they are facing. And imagine if someone carries 100 of such 3 digits, then yeah, it's very tough for us to predict how the market will look like. But after that April, after those chips has been changed hand from the weak to strong, and make another allocation, and yeah, after that is done, maybe there's an opportunity. But if everyone foresees that, maybe things will change before that, right? So yeah, that is something we need to always consider in mind. Do the right thing that's suitable for ourselves. Each person's financial situation, their family situation is different. So yeah, it depends on how badly you need the money back, and it depends on how much money you can invest in the name, and it depends on whether or not you are a patient guy, or you are easy to get anxious from time to time. Yeah, you just need to be case by case, and whether or not you are going to share this information of you buying this ENS name to your family, to your wife. Because in China, lots of wives are very aggressive. If your husband let a wife know he paid maybe thousands of US dollars to buy some names that she doesn't know, then there will be some fight in the family. There, yeah, a lot of aspects we need to consider before we make the move, but make sure we have considered the most of the parts which can which can be various. When after I buy the domain, don't underestimate any kind of difficulty before you buy it, because it could be happening that after you buy it, you want the money back within the next month. You underestimated yourself, and at the meantime, maybe you don't have the liquidity to renew it. All these you need to think it through, and then put your bet. And if you set up the strategy, you are a very patient guy, you have, for example, 100,000 US dollar, which is a decent money, and you want to make it a flip maybe 10 times, and then you're targeting to buy some grail words, or some grail names, then you need to do the right thing, get money ready. You need to be actively bidding on the the grail names. Maybe you bid for 100 grail names. I believe there are more than 100 of the grail names that worth more than 100K US dollar at this moment. But you need to diligently doing that and check the grail's price, and then you maybe eventually, if you're lucky enough, you can get your name. Okay, then check your expiration date for this name. Make sure if you set up the target date is 5 years, make sure it's renewed for 5 years, and then make all the associations change to your own record in BTC, ETH, the coin, and IPFS. Maybe you build a simple site, and it's just to show your personal information. Hey, thank you for visiting this site. This is a very cool name, and I love this name. Something like that. And maybe if you like it, you can associate all your social media and your personal, contact information in the last part. If you want it to be anonymous, and yeah, it's fine. Just leave it there. Make those works done, and then just wait for the good things to happen. I mean, it's just as easy as that. But but after you buy the name, after you renewed it for 5 years, don't check the price. Don't change your expectation too frequently. Don't 1 month after you buy the name, you cannot wait any further. You lose your patience, and you frequently sending the messages to asking people, I have a great name, do you need this, I can it can be cheap, I buy it for 100K, now I only sell you for 105K, do you want it? Don't do that. Every name, if you want to sell it, I'm sorry, that's not a good business. It will be, it's always the buyer market. Whoever showing up their proposal, whoever showing up their offer first will get the very very bad situation. That's why every time all the grail names, all the good tradings are initiated by the buyer will approach if they really need it. They need the name for a reason, and that is the reason why you choose this name, why you invest on this name, why you believe, why you have faith on ENS at the first place. So yeah, that's kind of just an example regarding how I kind of how I set up my strategy, how I recommend people to make strategy if you want to do some investment on ENS names. But most importantly, we are here, we bought our names, we are very diamond hand, we are very patient, because we realize the real value of ENS. We know why it is great. We know its associations, these are great. We know ETH, we know Ethereum will not be killed ever. We know .eth will be the .com of crypto, and we know crypto will never end. If crypto is ended, then party is over, everyone will leave. We know that is not going to happen. Then I think that's good enough. There's nothing else we need to worry about. Just do the right thing, set up your strategy, and then just execute it. I think it's just as easy as that. Yeah, I think so much to share for today. Thanks much, guys. Have a great day.
Boom. For now on, every time Master is done speaking, I'm just gonna end it with bomb. Right? Every time Master is done speaking from here on forward, y'all, I'm ending every Master speech with a bomb, because all he does is drops alpha and drops bombs on us. So Master, much appreciate that, man. And I agree with a lot of what you're saying, right? Everybody's situation is different. Have your own personal strategy, but more importantly, every strategy that you do have, I would encourage you to think more so in the longer run as compared to the shorter run. The shorter run being the next 12 months, and think more so in the next 36 to 48 months. And I like to use months because it makes it sound a little bit more interesting. I could say 1 year, or I could say 3 to 4 years. It's all the same thing. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it to our guy, NFT Verse. But before I go to NFT Verse, ladies and gentlemen, this is ENS Updates. We do this every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have about, how many people do you have in this room? We have about 56 people in this room, and only 9 retweets. Only 9 retweets. So you guys want to do us a huge, huge, huge favor. Go ahead and retweet this room out. I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to our guy, NFT Verse. The stage is yours, brother.
GM 5159. Buenos dias to the ENS Latino. I wish I got to learn some more languages in order to say good morning to the whole entire community. Shout out to 5159, man. Welcome back, man. Welcome back, bro. Welcome back to the grind, man. Welcome back to the new year, 2023, man. We get to do this thing or continue this thing, going forward into 2023. So, man, I look forward to that. Shout out to rm1.eth. Shout out to master.eth. Master, I don't know. Do you have any updates, Master, on kind of the A16, grant that you're trying to get, that you had submitted to A16? Um, any updates on whether that you're supposed to hear something back for this year, first quarter, second quarter, something like that, Master?
Yeah, we are still patiently waiting for the feedback from A16Z. While we also have submitted the application to some of the head of the VCs. So definitely we'll keep you posted, and we will, publish something and use this space as well for the public, announcement. Thanks for asking, man.
Definitely, definitely, no problem. Shout out to I see Mafiko in here, ENS Galaxy, or ETH Galaxy. I'm sorry, ETH Galaxy 00. I see Lex. I got Flossin in here, man. We got the emoji space later today, man. The emojis, man. Listen, man. I think there's some love, there's some true love for the emojis out there, man. I mean, Flossin has partnered up with the trading post, the ENS trading post, man, and you start to see kind of all the love, man, and activity or engagement into those posts, man. A great job, Flossin. I think that there's some low key emoji lovers out there who don't want to admit it, who don't want to admit it right now, but they are. So we're going to continue to build that community and highlight that community because I think there's so much potential there that people still don't realize. Again, shout out to Floss and that's 0 Artificial. I see you in there. What's up, Drea? I see Drea down there. I think Drea just posted a new thread today. If I caught that correctly, so I got to go check out the thread, Drea. Amazing job. Keep up the good work. So, a couple of things I want to touch on this morning. Number one, there's a protocol out there, a TLD protocol out there called Free Name. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to it, but I try to do some research. I've been researching a lot more lately. Let me just say that. I think I'm just kind of just fine tuning my research skills for 2023 and due diligence. Maybe it's due diligence instead of research, right? I mean, maybe you can combine those two together. I don't know. Maybe Mafiko can say if that makes sense at some point. Research, due diligence. Anyway, there's a protocol out there called Free Name. And I read an article, and it was posted on Yahoo Financial, Yahoo News, or whatever, and then it was also posted in Bloomberg, which I know how articles get posted and stuff like that. But it mentioned that they have launched the Who Is search engine for Web3. So where you can pretty much kind of tap into who owns what, almost like the Who Is registry for Web2. So Ron probably knows about the Who Is registry of searching up domain owners in that directory. For Web2, right? Does anybody know
Yeah,
what that is?
who dot is.
Yes, yes, which is very popular in Web two for finding ownership, right, or kind of tracking down the owners of specific Web two domains. Well, Free Name has recently announced that they have launched the Who Is for Web three, where you can now search TLDs, you can search, domain names, and also you can search, wallet addresses, and it will, provide results back to within that search engine of who owns those particular, addresses, right? So I was I was conversating with them today via Twitter because there's two search bars on that website. One is and of course as part of the the website, it states that kind of like in the top, it says free name. It says Web3 Who Is. Free name Web3 Who is a platform that allows everyone to check information for Web3 domains of free name, unstoppable, and ENS, right? So so of course I go in and I'm playing around with it, right? And I start plugging in some information. I start plugging in there's two search bars, two search fields. One search field is for type of wallet address. The other search field is type of domain or a TLD, right? So first I go to the type of domain, click it in, click search. It renders a result of who owns that domain. Same thing for a TLD. If somebody owns a particular TLD, you type in that TLD, hit search. It'll tell you who the owner of that TLD is, right? Um, type of wallet address is the other search bar. So basically, what it's saying is that if you put in a wallet address, we're talking about the 0x wallet, Ethereum wallet addresses, right? Type that in, it'll then it'll then display, the everything that wallet owns, right? Okay. Well, in my conversation with them today via Twitter, I was telling them that, well, I utilize ENS as my wallet address, right? And an example that they had, on the website and what they sent a screenshot to me was that they put in the 0x, the long address, into the type wallet address field. But I said that that's not what I'm trying to get you to understand. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that my wallet address, my wallet resolves to my .eth. So I should be able to type in my .eth address, where it says type a wallet address, and it should render results. I shouldn't have to copy and paste the 0x wallet address, the long address, and then do searches by that. In order for this to become an ease of use, I believe that you should incorporate uh, being able to put in the .eth address for the type of where the type of wallet address is, so then you can get those results. And I think they were confused a little bit when I was telling them in my post, as we were going back and forth. But I sent a screenshot to them to kind of show them that I typed in the NFT verse, .eth, where it says type of wallet address, and I click search, and no results showed. And that's where the gap lies at between this particular tool, and it's not their fault, right? It's just an enhancement that I recommended that they should put into place, because there's so many .eth addresses out there that resolve, to certain wallets, and this only gives them kind of a leg up, in a way, right? But I made uh, that suggestion to them because when I saw that ENS was part of the data or the searches that you can perform in this tool, then I believe that it should be ENS on both sides. So not just type a domain and find out who owns that ENS domain, but it should also resolve to type a wallet address when you type in a wallet address. And if it's a .eth address, and if that .eth address is connected to a wallet, it should be able to display everything that wallet holds. So I say that to say, I'm trying to, like, I'll Google things that are happening out in the ENS community, in the ENS ecosystem. And as I start to find some of these keywords, I'll start to go digging into some of these protocols to see what's going on. And that was one of the things that kind of stood out to me today. So I directly reached out to that team on Twitter and started engaging into a conversation to let them know, hey, if you want this thing to work correctly and you want to move in the right direction, you gotta have the .eth address resolved, in order for this search engine to capture and produce results. So we'll see what happens. They haven't. We've been going a little bit back and forth today, and I provided them some quick screenshots. So we'll see if they are able to build that code within that particular search result. So I wanted to just share that with the community so that you guys know, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on out here, and sometimes it's important just to kind of dig in it just a little bit to make sure that they're giving justice to the actual protocol, which is ENS. And I just don't want them to miss out on something, or anybody or any protocol to miss out on something where they can improve the user experience. Because to me, you just go right back to the whole 0x long address when there's easy ones to resolve. And I think it at the end of the day, even if they put a little like a little some subtext like at the bottom of the search engine right there for type of wallet address, if they are able to implement the .eth where it resolves and show those results, just kind of do like in parentheses, hey, example, NFT verse.eth or blah blah blah.eth, and then it'll also, so people can start to see that and understand that, hey, you don't have to have this long address. There's the human readable form that you can also use too. So I know that was kind of long winded, but I just wanted to make sure I explained it thoroughly so everybody in here understood what that protocol was doing. So there's a new who is for free name that's out there that is being utilized to search and find ownership of domains and TLDs and things like that. So just want to throw that out there. Second thing, man, but Kev, man, time gets away from you, right, man? So second thing is I don't know if you guys saw this, but I go check out the ENS forum, the DAO forum. Maybe like every few days or maybe once a week, I'll go in there and check and see kind of what's going on in the DAO forum. I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the 29th of December, one of the delegates resigned. They resigned as a delegate and a participant in the ENS DAO. I don't know, that's huge for me. And they put an explanation in there too. So I would suggest you guys just go check that out if you have a chance. It looks like there might have been some internal organizational differences that might have been going on. I'm trying to be politically correct when I explain the terminology behind what was going on. I believe that I'm summing it up the right way when I say internal organizational differences, as far as delegates and things like that. And so I'm not going to read too much into it on here, but I suggest go to the ENS DAO forum, take a look at it, even comment on it if you want to, but it's part of the transparency that, being in the DAO, which all of us are part of the DAO, and the people who are holding tokens, definitely part of the DAO. You need to be aware of where this stuff is being communicated and go out there and take a look at it and be able to kind of respond and give some feedback. I know they're gonna hold a space. They're gonna hold spaces. They're supposed to hold spaces like each week, or I don't know, once every 2 weeks. I don't know what their time frame is, but that may be something that they'll address. Maybe they'll bring it up in their next space. But I think it's interesting to kind of understand that dynamic and what type of impact that it may pose on the community, if any. But I think it's important, or if that person is going to be replaced, and is there another voting mechanism that they'll need to vote another delegate in? I don't know. I don't know all the logistics behind that, but it'll be interesting to see. And last but not least, and I'll hand it off to whoever, but we're back Friday night happy hour. We're back. We never left, but we're back. So 2023. Expect to do some new things, some new segments maybe in the happy hour. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm just kind of bouncing some things, kind of kicking the tires around in my mind, just trying to figure out some good things. But man, shout out to the community. Shout out for the ENS update show. Kev, thanks for staying consistent out here. Thanks for giving everybody a little bit of break, man. That was actually nice, man. I definitely appreciate that little break, man. I think we needed that to come into the new year and get recharged. So everybody just stay consistent, man, and keep building, keep connecting. And man, let's continue to ride this wave into 2023, man, and all the way to 2024. Appreciate everybody. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Verse came with a lot. Today I caught most of that. And appreciate the research. One, and to appreciate the consistency, right? And I think the break should have been a little bit longer, but I had to, get back to it. Appreciate you first. I think that was definitely a lot, and that was very beneficial as well. I'm gonna go over to ETH Galaxy. ETH Galaxy's been waiting very patiently. ETH Galaxy, the stage is yours, brother.
GM, and Happy New Year to you and the community. 2023 is going to be the year of the builders. I posted a few pins at the top. One of them talks about wallets and how every 5 years the definition changes. So in 2010s was called digital wallets, 2015s was crypto wallets, 2020 Web3 wallets, and 2025 is going to be just wallets. So we're 2 years away from that. And when we have our .eth, some of you are in it for the money. That's fine as well. I'm in it to be a builder, but sure, if there's money, why not? But if you want to make money from it, you have to do one of two things. You either have to sell it or build on it. And I want to build, and part of the building is the subdomains. And so I also posted or pinned two posts up there related to CCIP. One of them is Drea. She wrote a nice thread on it. Thank you, Drea. And so I'm waiting for that CCIP, the chain link interoperability protocol, which will allow you to mint your subdomains on a layer 2 in a secure fashion. And so that's one piece of the puzzle that I'm waiting for. Then also there's an interesting thing that's happening at a macro level around USDT Tether, and how there's a group out there trying to bet against crypto, and more specifically against Tether. And there's a lot of drama happening with DCG and BlockFi, not BlockFi, but Genesis. And so anyways, so that's an interesting thread. It's worthwhile to read for sure. And then AI is, of course, a hot topic. I posted two other things on that. One is just like, it's really to look at the image, where it's like human progress through time, and it's like almost horizontal. And then you are here, and then it's just like a straight line up, and it's related to the artificial super intelligence that isn't too far around the corner. And the other AI was just us as well, an image. People like looking at images. That's why go ETH emojis, but it's just a comparison of the GPT-3 versus GPT-4. And one of the degens out there already got GPT-4, so congratulations to whoever that was. Maybe I should look for GPT-5, but just to show you, we're early, but not that early. When we're living on the cutting edge, it feels like we're early, but the cutting edge is today, right? Like, it's not cutting edge anymore. 5 days to get 1 million users with GPT-3 artificial intelligence chat. It took Facebook 10 years. So if you're thinking on the cutting edge, no, you are right where you need to be. So do the damn thing. Thank you.
Eve Galaxy, thank you for sharing all that with the chain link, and shout out to Drea for that article. And that's a very interesting graph where human progress over time, and us, you are right here, right before the exponential growth. I love that example because, like I keep saying, man, I think life in the next 5 years is going to look dramatically, drastically, astronomically. Give me all the big words in the dictionary, the biggest words in the dictionary, and give it to me. And that's what life is going to look like, how different life is going to look like with the super intelligence assisting us. And I don't mean that in a good or bad way. I just think we have a super intelligence assisting us now at the palm of our hands. Man, every time I think about it, I just get mind blown away. But ladies and gentlemen, I have a special message from our sponsor who make this space possible, from vpn.eth.limo. Are you tired of feeling vulnerable and exposed online? Do you worry about your personal data being tracked and collected without your consent? With vpn.eth.limo, you can take control of your online privacy and security. Our easy-to-use website allows you to compare the best VPN providers and features, so you can choose the right one for you. A VPN will protect your location, hide your IP address, and encrypt your internet traffic, ensuring that your personal data stays private. Don't get hacked. Don't wait any longer to take back your online security. Visit vpn.eth.limo now and sign up for a VPN today. Protect yourself and your loved ones from the prying eyes of hackers and cyber criminals. Sign up now and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with a secure and private connection. With that being said, I'm going to pass it over to the professor, aka our guy 1261, Mafiko. The stage is yours, brother.
GM guys, GM, Happy New Year. I hope you all had a good break. This is my first year not in Australia. Had a new year in the UK, which was interesting. Much colder than what I'm used to, but I had a good time overall. As the year has kind of started, there's been a couple of things that have come my way that I thought I'd update you all on. First one, there is a growing interest among academics that study organizations that study entrepreneurship around Web3. So there's actually now a rolling special issue on Web3 at one of the top journals in my space. And so what that means is that that journal is prioritizing academic work on Web3, and that at any given time, sort of that work goes through a very fast-tracked, still rigorous, but definitely a fast-tracked process to be published. So that's some exciting news. I will share more information on that as it comes to me. But why that's relevant to you all is in the sense of, given that we're in the bear, my focus is on understanding where we've come from. So what happened in 2021, and also what happened with ENS in 2022, and then also hypothesizing and figuring out where we're going. So if there's any interesting observations you've seen in the space, if there's anything about ENS you're kind of curious on, you want some research done, or you'd love to sort of get an elaboration on, just DM me. More than happy to have a chat and explore what that might look like. So in terms of academic papers, what they're looking for is to explain or to basically write about something that we didn't know about before. So obviously ENS, a lot of the work we're doing in this space is new, it's cutting edge. A lot of the work in Web3 is cutting edge as well. And so that means it's a rich context to understand or to generate new knowledge about the world, about how organizations run, about how to engage in entrepreneurship and do better. That's a really exciting development on the academic front. On a personal front, I've spent a lot of time over this break having a look at my portfolio, my bags, having a look at my ENS names, also having a look at my other bags, which are mainly historical NFTs. And late last year, I started coming up with an evaluation framework for historical NFTs to understand more about how to actually, everyone has this idea of this is the grail, but we actually haven't sat down, all of us collectively sat down and defined what a grail is. Seems like we all have very different definitions of it, especially in the historical NFT space, but definitely in ENS. So I've finished this evaluation framework now for the historical NFTs, and I'm now focusing more on coming up with an evaluation framework for ENS names. Now, obviously, there's a good comparison with ENS with domains. I don't think that comparison is 100% foolproof. So there's work that I'm doing just to be clear around what are the distinctions between Web2 domains and Web3 names. And so it's likely there are going to be some new criteria that I'll develop based on some of the unique nature of what we're dealing with here with ENS. So I'm really excited to work on that for the first quarter of this year, hoping to have that out definitely this first quarter, and I'm hoping it's going to be a useful framework. First, it would be great to get some feedback on it, but I'm hoping it'll be a useful framework for all of us as we go about kind of trying to evaluate what these names. I won't touch on what names are worth. This is more so about saying, does this name have potential to be worth something? And that's a very different question. Ultimately, and as Master has said, ultimately names will have, that one lover, that person who's willing to go above and beyond to pay for that name, and that value is really subjective. But if we're thinking about constructing a portfolio of names that have the potential to be valuable down the line, that's a question that we can objectively tackle. So I'm excited to do that. I think as well, I've spent this week, this sort of break, looking at what's in my vault, but also looking at what's in my other wallet and kind of transferring using those two wallets as a way to kind of distinguish between what are the names that I will definitely renew and what are the names that I'm on the fence about renewing. And I just found it a very valuable exercise to really distinguish on which ones do I think subjectively, intuitively are my grail names without having done any analysis, and which names do I think like, I'm okay to, if this sells, great. If it doesn't sell, I probably won't renew again. And I think, I realized for me personally that I was per se perhaps lying to myself a bit in terms of the names that I thought were really valuable and the names that I thought, that I thought could really mean something. I just found that a very useful exercise. And I think as we go into this year with a lot of people having these names coming up for registration for renewal, I think it's a very important exercise for all of us to consider in terms of really thinking critically around these names that I have. Are they valuable long term, or are they something that, it was a good idea at the time, but ultimately, given whatever criteria I'm looking at it, it's not going to be worth much. So those are my kind of updates for this year. I'm really excited about that. Even though we're still in the bear, the people still showing up every day. All the speakers who have come up here have mentioned Kev and his consistency in hosting this space, which I'm forever grateful for, and I believe I speak for everybody here that we're all grateful for to have this platform to communicate and to engage with these ideas. But I'm excited about us strengthening these community bonds in this year, but also these macro level things that are happening around these whisperings around ENS potentially buying, the TLD from sort of the Web2 TLD and other things around just general mass adoption that we're seeing. What new brands will come into this space this year? That remains to be seen. It's a very exciting question. And I think as well, I follow somebody, I'm not sure if you know her, but she's a lawyer. I forget her name now. She basically tweets about companies that are filing trademarks and patents around Web3. And every single day, I mean, these are things that, unless you really are a lawyer and you're sort of in tune with those spaces, you wouldn't have an idea of. But I found that her Twitter profile very valuable channel to understand actually what is going on behind the scenes. So now I'm actually considering, I consider these trademark filings as one of the key indicators I look at in terms of Web3 adoption. Is kind of the calm before the storm. And if I see from the past 3 weeks of following her and seeing her account, I mean, there's been more than 10 different organizations, large brands that they've been filing for either metaverse kind of plays or applications or things related specifically to NFTs. So while it might not look like a lot is happening in our space right now, while it might look like a lot of people have left this space, best believe that there's things that are going on behind the scenes where that should leave you feeling very excited for where we're going. So onwards and upwards, guys. Happy to be here. Looking forward to what's ahead for this year.
My God, always dropping gems, always dropping knowledge. I'm very excited to see that framework when you do come out with that. I know it's going to take some research and some time, but appreciate you coming on and sharing that with us. And I'm pretty sure the community will find it very valuable, as we did the pyramid example you made a while back on the use cases of ENS. Cool. And I want to go back to the .eth TLD, which you just completely reminded me about. Ethiopia.eth just got purchased for 25 ETH by a fresh wallet. Meanwhile, ENS is in the process of acquiring the .eth TLD from ICANN, which is currently reserved for Ethiopia. Probably not a coincidence. That is a tweet from address .eth. And who knows what is going on behind the scenes? Who knows if it's the DAO? It's a brand new, fresh, clean wallet. So we have no idea. But the person originally put in a 10 ETH offer. The owner of Ethiopia.eth then countered by listing the price at 25 ETH. Then it was later literally purchased. And there was some rumblings behind the scenes about this TLD thing being purchased. So all I will say is exciting times ahead. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it works out. I want to give another huge shout out to the professor, Mafika. When he is able to join us, he never disappoints. So let's go over to our guy, Mr. 618, and then we'll go over to our boy Floss in 618. and I'll probably close it out with Flossin after that.
Hello, Kev. Hello, everybody. So, right before the call, right before I get on stage, I got a call. So I don't know, I don't hear you anymore from my earbuds. So I don't know if, you can hear me. So, shout out to everybody in space. Um, I wanted to say, thank you to all the speakers, and also wanted to come up on stage for the first time in this year, 2023, on your space. So happy New Year to the ENS Update show and to everybody in space. And shout out to everybody, Lex. So I'm gonna try to organize my thought, like I said. So 2023 gonna be, like I said, probably a year of organization and trying to do the best that I can with the time that I'm gonna allow myself to do it. So you said to basically try to push ourselves to try the AI chat GPT. So this morning I woke up early and try to input create a basically uh what is it, like a logging, whatever, a server, an account. Like that's the I created an account and tried to basically play with the word, like to market like the domains that I have, for sale and stuff like that. Because I created a domain called like the view counter to basically count the views on the ENS on whenever you click on basically domain. So I tried to ask ChatGPT how it could give me like a quick description on the description of the view counter, and it was very productive. So I like that. But why I wanted to come for is especially to show that that AI video that I saw 2 days ago on an account, and is very interesting, and I pinned it on the top. And it was very interesting to see how basically the ape changed into a robot when you play the anime and in the space, because we were talking about AI and stuff like that. So if you guys have any time to look at the pinned tweets, the tweets from Counter magazine saying what happened when you ask AI to generate like human art, and you can see like basically a video of like a ape, a monkey, like evolving into like a human, prehistoric human, and then a regular human, and then like evolving as a robot to end up like completely like in a robot civilization. So it's very scary and interesting at the same time. But yeah, just wanted to pin that. And also as like that space was going, I had a notification that there is like a FOMC meeting that's happening. So we're probably going to have like a lot of volatility on the market. And so I found that it was like a good opportunity to basically connect to my app, Syndicator. So Syndicator is a platform where there is like question that gives you like a forecast on the prediction of the market. And at the end of the month, like if your forecasts are in the positive, you get a reward of like a few Bitcoins or that are spread into all the participant who has like a positive balance. So there was like 2 hours to answer a question saying like right now Bitcoin was trading around like $16,820. What would be your prediction where Bitcoin would go first? Would it go first to 17,290 or 16,354? So right now we all have like those numbers in mind. So we know like a big move is coming. So it's either it's going to go to 17,289 or it's going to go to 16,354. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for putting me up. And again, this speech was sponsored by the Cost Media Planet K 010.eth. But anyway, I have another speech for that. Thank you for putting me up, and have a good day, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Mr. 618. And I just want to review this talk before I pass it over to Flossin. This what happens when you ask AI to generate human evolution? Real quick. I thought that was interesting as well. We covered it a little bit yesterday. And I'll even go to argue that I'll even go to argue a little bit that I think it's really fascinating. It's really, really fascinating to see that right the very next step, because it shows the apes, it shows prehistoric humans like that still looks like apes. Then it shows like the medieval ages, and then it shows like the age after that. Then it shows people holding phones in their hands. It shows people holding phones in their hands. And that's pretty much the age we are in right now. And right after that, it shows people in robotic bodies. That's something to sit and think about. It shows people in robotic bodies. And I don't think that's very far off. I think when we talk about maximizing human potential, living longer, living smarter, being smarter, living longer, having more human ability, the only next thing to do, we've maxed out our physical capabilities right now. And if we want to become superhumans, I'm not surprised that it's showing robotic humans who have essentially become cyborgs. That shit is crazy to me. But it's quote unquote the next step in our evolution. But Flossin, the stage is yours, brother.
Yo, what is up? Sorry, man. Couldn't get myself off mute. Go figure, bro. But man, I'm already getting rugged today, dude. I'm in a couple other spaces, so I don't know what it is about Wednesdays and Flossin getting rugged, but I hope it doesn't go like last week. Got rugged for my space. So, but no, GM, man, a lot of good news happening, right? Ethiopia's selling. That's bullish. Verse what he was touching on this morning, right, about some of the stuff that's been posted in the Dow. It's definitely not getting enough attention. Hopefully tonight in the emoji space we can touch on it a little bit because there's definitely something within the Dow. They're not being fully transparent. I'll say it. There's a reason why Rafi has ghosted people on normalization. So definitely just trying to get down to the bottom of it, right? Like what can we do as a community to get the ball rolling, to keep moving forward? So I'm not afraid to speak up when something ain't going right. So I'm speaking up. Definitely more attention needs to be brought to this. So I'm gonna do my part with it. I think Verse will too. But yeah, bullish, man. I'm bullish on a lot. Yesterday, definitely had my first post with teaming up with ENS Trading Post. I was surprised. People were dropping some bangers in the comments. A couple base singles were dropped over, I think, like 18,000 views now on that original post. So definitely was surprised to see this in a bear market. I'm looking forward to next week too. I already got a good idea to bring awareness to what I would say mid-level emojis. So definitely want to make sure everyone gets their emojis seen and recognized because this is what it's all about, right? Community is what it's about. So shout out to everyone who's worked with me to make that happen, and look forward. I'm looking forward to the future of what 2023 is in store. So big space tonight. A lot to touch on. Big sales happening. Seeing some liquidity come back to the keycap 999 club, right? 900 keycaps sold for right under 1 ETH last night. It was actually someone's first Ethmoji. So did confirm that sell. So shout out to, I forget who that was. I need to go back and look, but shout out to them. But yeah, no, Kev, man, thanks for having the space. Thanks for allowing me to come up. Shout out to Ron. Shout out to Master. Shout out to everyone. Mr. 1261.eth, Mafiko, man. What's up, dude? I haven't been on stage with him in a minute. Definitely need to tap in with him, see how the move is, right? He's been over, man. Hey, Mafiko, where are you at now? Is it Switzerland or Sweden?
I'm in Edinburgh, bro.
Edinburgh. Damn it,
in the
man.
UK. Yeah.
I love me some Edinburgh, man. I can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, man, like definitely need to tap in with you, see what the professor's up to. So always dropping the bombs, man. So I'm just glad to be here. Glad to learn. But I'm gonna shut up now, Kev. That's really all I had for the day. So just shout out for everyone pulling up. See Dope Collector down there, Wavy down there. See Cushboo. Shabbat. What up, Shabbat? I see my guy Steamy, man. Me and Steamy, man, we're over here in the same discords I'm seeing on some NFT projects. What up, boy? But yeah, no, Kev, thanks again. I look forward to tonight and I look forward to the Friday night happy hour. And hey, Verse, thanks for the Leo, bro. Like definitely look forward to hearing more about what you have going on with these new cats.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Floss, and coming on and tapping in with us. Doesn't go unnoticed. If you guys don't know, his space is tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to pin that to the top, brother, please feel free to do that, so at least I can set my reminder. Verse. Do you want to talk a little bit more about your cats?
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah. So for everybody, in the community that doesn't know, or just as a quick reminder, I launched the cats that you see in my PFP, which I call them the OG ENS cats right now. So those cats were launched back in April of 2022. When ENS really never did not have kind of like a PFP to represent the journey that we were all starting to partake in back then. So when I saw that was missing, I said, you know what, I'm gonna do some art, and I'm just gonna created, and I'm going to put .eth on the chain, and that is going to be my representation of .eth, right? Out here, in these ENS in the ENS ecosystem, the ENS streets, right? So I want to represent that way, and then few people saw it and they were like, man, I want one of those cats too. I want one. And so what I did was I started customizing the cats, one by one. And just to keep in mind, the community was very small back in April, man. I mean, think about it. It's like I said, it seems like a long time ago, but the community was real small back in April. That was before the digits really even took off, right? So it was early on. So I created those cats, and I did some customizations for about 27 people in the community. There's a total of about 37 original cats. And each cat, I had each person kind of select what color glasses they wanted from the cat, what color cat they wanted, and then they had the ability to customize the chain, the little charm that you see, the .eth.domains, but they had the ability to customize and put whatever they wanted on the chain. But it still was still symbolic of the ENS cats being the first cat, or the first PFP for ENS that was ever minted, on the blockchain or released on the blockchain, the first PFP collection. So I stopped doing those cats around July or something like that, and I told everybody, hey, this is it. I'm not doing any more cats. It's kind of hard to kind of customize each one. But although the community was small, there were some people, 27 people got to secure and scoop up some of those original cats. So, kind of full circle, 2023, with so many people, wanting to, that was asking me about the cats. I still hold about 9 of the original cats, the OG cats. But so many people wanted one of the cats, and I just didn't know where to kind of price the OG cats at, because they were symbolic and they were historical for me. And so this year, I started thinking, like last quarter of this 2022, I started thinking like, I think I want to build a story around the cats, but I want to do a new version of the cats, and I want to build a story around the characters, right? So I created 6 characters of the new ENS cats of 2023, and those characters are Slick Sylvester, Goldie, um, Leo. What's another one? It's 6 of them. I can't think of all. Pinky, yeah, Pinky. And there's 6 cats that I've created. All of them are their own characters, and I created a certain amount of versions of those cats. So there's 6 designs and there's a certain amount that's available for each one of those cats. So I do have them on OpenSea. They're under ENS Cats 2023. And the goal or the new initiative behind the new cats is to create a story behind each one of those particular cats. If you look at the description of each one of the cats that are on OpenSea right now for sale, they range between like $12 to $15 for the cats, and then the only cat that's more than that is Leo, and Leo is like $30. Well, to kind of tie all of that together, everybody who held, all the people who held one of the OG ENS cats, they all were dropped one of the Leo cats, which is there's only 80 Leo cats that were minted. So for all the people who held one of those, they kind of got pretty much airdropped a Leo cat. And then there's still some Leo cats available. But the idea behind this, guys, is I wanted to take a PFP collection that I created myself, and I wanted to tell a story. Now, we all love good movies. We all love good TV shows. We all love, good, whatever, right? Books and things like that. So with each one of those cats, I'm going to tell a backstory for each 6 of those cats. All of those 6 cats, they're in a crew. They're in a crew together, so they roll with one another. Each one of them are, would consider themselves successful in their own rights. But I'm going to build a story behind each one of them and how they grew up and how they met each other and how they became who they are, and the trials and the tribulations and the ups and downs that they had to go through to get to where they're at. Good and bad, because you can consider them successful, but they may not have always taken the right route to get to that success. So I want to build that story, and there's no telling. I really don't know where I'm gonna take it, but I have written TV pilots and scripts before, so I want to build this out to something more tangible, and the ideas for as this continues to build out over time, because I don't have a roadmap, so don't ask me for a roadmap. So I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't have a roadmap because I like my creativity to just flow freely. I don't like to be bound by things. So I'll allow my creativity to build. And as you guys can already kind of tell by that, you've never had to ask me for anything to present to you. I've always come with something every single time, and then I'll just drop it. So that's the way that I'll always do it. So that's why I don't need a roadmap. I'll continue to build off of my creativity, and that's what this particular the cat project, the ENS Cats 2003, will do, is that I'll build off the creativity. I'll create the storylines. I'll continue to see where that drives it and where that ends up, whether it's animated, where there's an animation to it, or whether it's a short story behind it. But that's kind of where I want to take this for the cats for 2023. Kev, I appreciate you, man, giving me a little bit of time to kind of plug that a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love it, man. And if you ever need more inspiration, I would recommend, I don't know if you have already, when writing those backstories, and try using ChatGPT, bro. The artificial intelligence will definitely help spark up some inspiration there. But we're approaching the end of the show. It is now officially 12:26. I'm going to give us all some time back. Thank you to the co-hosts. Thank you to the speakers. Thank you to the listeners. Thank you to the entire community, right, who showed up, and who will show up on the replay version of this. You guys make this space special. You guys make this community special. Let's continue to grind it out together. Let's get through the bear market together, and let's enjoy the fruits of our labor together as well. With that being said, 5159 is out, and 2 things. This is ENS Updates. We do this every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you guys tomorrow. And don't forget to check out the sponsor, vpn.eth.limo, Limo. Peace.